Okay, well, it's November, and November is the time of exam stress in families. And if you don't have any teenagers yet, then this is something to look forward to. Um, Teenagers have this way of habit of putting things off, most of them, and they think it'll be okay. I think I know it. Yeah, I'm okay. I can watch this program, and then I'll do a bit more study. But I think I'm okay. And they watch the program on TV, and then they might whip out and go on Facebook for just a minute, which takes 20. And by the end of it, it's 9:30, and you say, okay, let's quit revision before you go to bed. Nice to get a nice night's sleep before your exam tomorrow morning. So let's just talk about, what you know. And like an example would be my daughter preparing for history a couple of years ago. Okay, let's do Origins of World War II. Who can you tell us was involved in that? Hitler? At that point, you feel like your head is going to explode, and the parent has to not explode the night before an exam. That's my first bit of advice, okay? The parent needs to de-stress themselves. Don't blow up and say, oh my goodness, do you not know anything? Because that creates this massive combustion which sets everybody in the family alight, and before you know it, it's 11:15, no one's gone to sleep, the child with the exam is adamant that they know nothing, and going from the calm serenity of 6:45 where, yep, I think I know it all, it's nearly midnight and they know nothing, and the exam's in the morning and they're going to have to do some work, and what are they going to do, and they're going to fail, and their whole life is going to be over. And so again, the parent needs to stay calm under these circumstances, because it's actually very normal, but that doesn't make it any easier. I could say at this time you could pray, but when a teenager's stressing over exams, pulling out the rosary beads probably isn't going to really help an awful lot at that point. So keep the prayer internalized and stay calm. If you can use God for anything, use God to stay calm. Right, so you get through an exam and there are more exams coming. You've got to say the week before, there will be no TV, there will be no computer. You can't say it at 7:30 on the night, because it's like the end of the world for a teenager. So don't say, no, you're not watching TV right now, go to your room and study. Because again, stress levels rise and the unexpected is unwelcome. So plan ahead. Say, hey, let's sit down at the table, let's have a meal together, let's have a lovely calm grace, let's eat nicely, and let's talk about exam week next week and make some plans. Let's say, I think one TV program a night, 30 minutes computer time, no Xbox or PlayStation, and the rest of the time you spend studying. Agreed? And they'll say, yeah. Then you say, we're going to write this down. And they go, oh, what for? And you say, no, we'll write it, we'll put it on the wall. Once that's done, when that week comes, it's what's expected, and you don't quite hit the same levels of multiple combustions per evening. That'd be my advice. Plan ahead and stay calm. And then focus on the positive, and don't say, hey, it doesn't matter if you fail, but say, as long as you think you're going to do your best, and if all else fails, just say, hey, God loves you however you are. Okay? And I've got this little prayer somewhere that says, actually, results aren't what's important, it's what you're like as a person that's important. But doesn't actually work that well the night before the exam either. So keep the prayers quiet, but keep them going, but stay calm. Keep it simple, no TV, or very little TV. 1 hour is good. And by the time you get to about the fourth exam, you've got to change the pace a little bit. Maybe go out for dinner, or think of something interesting to do to break up that tension, because the exam week can last sometimes 2 weeks, and you've got to be there for your children. So plan ahead. Don't just let it happen, because if it does, you'll have a nightmare of a time. And just remember, you do love your child, and even when they're screaming and yelling and it's nearly midnight and there's paper all over the floor and they can't find their protractor, no one's going to die of that. And remind them of that too. No one's going to die of not having a protractor. It's like Father Card used to say, no one ever got shot making a mistake altar serving. You just be prepared, and stay calm, love your child, love this time, and when it's all over, have a stiff drink and shut the children in with their Xbox or their PlayStation and put on some good music, and then you can just de-stress yourself quietly, and your child never needs to know that, man, that was a tough week.